Rightio, welcome on into the matchup between SemperFi and Ground Zero as we kick things off here on Inferno. And this is the map pick of Ground Zero. So interesting to note that SemperFi are kicking off on T side. They must be feeling pretty confident about what they're going to be able to bring to the table here. They want to dictate things early on in the piece.
Yeah, let's see what that dictation looks like. A silent boost into apartments. Flash towards the halls. By design, maybe expecting GZ to be stacked towards apps. With that utility, they haven't actually rotated a third member back towards this A site. You got one player playing it cold, all tucked away, one on the other side of site, looking to draw attention away through that smoke. So Julie's in the corner, will only get one for vision. So we've got a 4v4 for the retake.
Bomb plant going down nice and quickly. Addict's got a smoke here as well, so he'll be able to re-smoke Moto. But it does look like Apoc Dud's going to set himself up for progression smoke, so maybe that re-smoke into Moto might not be quite as impactful as they would like. I don't think the Ground Zero are going to have the time to wait it out. They're just going to have to flash their way through, and that has not worked out too badly. 2 for 2. The remaining kills, though, not coming through. Cleaned up nicely by Shady and Addict, and that is the first round on the board. Pistol going the way of SemperFi.
Not too bad. Successful on the retake. A solid start for a team that is looking to win this whole damn thing. You'd assume GZ are as well, but might not be as warmed up. Of course, both teams having to have yesterday off, so not getting that extra official in. But we are having a force bite for the CTs for GZ. Double MP9, couple of 5.7s. Which are doing huge damage internationally. These Mac 10s and rifles should be expecting this for sure. Flash at mid, keen hoping that that would draw some kind of attention to them. No information gained. And it is just going to be a slower setup. Look, you got someone playing anti, Addict already dinked just on the jiggle. Oh, but with the dry push in. It's not looking good for GZ. Omi unable to get that trade enabled. And now it's just long control for GZ. They're even calling across that third man. So you might just save everything if they don't end up coming towards the A site. But with Hazard out here, there could still be a chance for GZ.
Yeah, not a whole lot of funny business in this round for SemperFi. They've kind of just gifted it by Ground Zero. Epoch Dud through the smoke, continuing that spray with the 5.7. Doesn't get any more than just the 1. So pretty nicely done from SemperFi. And it sort of feels like we're kind of back to the expectation, which is SemperFi winning. I mean, I know it's early days, but this was a matchup that was quite hotly contested on LAN. Has not been the case when they played online. It's been reasonably solid for SemperFi online. Some close maps here and there, though. See if that continues. Oh, nice little bit of a nade stack there from Ground Zero. It does a fair chunk to Keen and Savage, but ultimately when it's followed up by just USPs, it does seem like it's probably not going to be super relevant.
Ooh, big couple of shots coming through. USP getting some damage down. And look, oh, more onto Addict. What's going on, boys? Where's this trade gate? SemperFi spacing, leaving something to be desired. Is he going to be seen, or at least he thinks he's seen? Up in apartments, isolated on the flank. Shady gets the better of him. And Zeus, unfortunately, not going to get the free kill it was hoping for. Through the edge of the smoke, Damio will be taken out as well by Keen. And SemperFi steady the ship. It looked dangerous for a moment.
Well, first gun round's going to be the important one here for Ground Zero to get underway with. Weren't expecting too much from them in those last couple of rounds, but they can manage to slide this one through, then it will potentially end up being another competitive iteration of Inferno between these two teams. 16-14 the last time they played it on Inferno. Close affair for ground zero. They would like it to be close once again, but maybe a victory this time around. Apoc Dud gonna get some nice damage out of that grenade. It's a bit of a util exchange in Banana, but ultimately it is SemperFi that have more or less taken control of top Banana. Starting to take control of apps as well, so they've got a lot of space to work with here right now on the T side. I mean, that kind of helps.
Yeah.
Dud down early. Addict trying to make some more inroads into the B-bomb side. I'm not sure if he actually quite caught vision of Damio or whether or not he was still flashed, but they're obviously expecting another player on this site. Now Damio's position somewhat given away. Savage will take the peak on his own, and now Keen's going to kind of do the same thing. This is sort of falling apart a little bit for SemperFi, just going in one by one. I don't like that take at all. They essentially kind of get gifted the round by Addict, but now all of a sudden has to come up absolutely huge hazard with a 2k to start to swindle it back. That's really, really poor from SemperFi, but might still be salvageable.
Okay, Adler just going to try his hardest, but unfortunately won't be able to swing in, won't be able to deal with the final SemperFi individuals. And GZ, that's the way they get their first round on the board. Solid B-side defense and maybe just overextension from SemperFi.
I think it did feel like it, you know, Savage kind of goes on his own, and then it sort of seemed like that almost like baited Keen into doing what he did, and it was sort of like a one thing leads to another type situation, you know. If they would have just slowed it down, you know, dumped a bit of util, smoked off Coffin, smoked off CT, like, I don't know exactly how many smokes they had, but one of them was tossed in onto the site. You know, there's a better way of doing that, I think, for SemperFi, even regardless of whether or not they had smokes. You know, maybe swinging together, this or that, whatever. Not clean from SemperFi, definitely, by any stretch of the imagination, but not the end of the world, as they obviously can repurchase, reinvest into this round. Though they have already lost Savage, so down 4 on 5, and losing that round might actually cost them a chance at a very strong first half here already. You can start to see ground zero kind of making some inroads back in. If they can win this round cleanly, then they'll be off to the races on that CT side. PZ, going to be tested. No shoulder peek just yet from Shady. Full commitment. Does get tagged through the wall. And PZ is just going to back off and leave the rest of that job up to Omichala.
Unfortunately, only gets half the job done. Spacing much better this time for SemperFi, just to instantaneously drop the trade. Ooh, around the world smoke going to be dropped by Keen here. Little gap to play through. If he does push archers, there's PZ here with the scope on the line, but oh, he'll tap him. Probably a nasty shot. Didn't get to see it. Now it's all up to Apoc Dud to lock down this B site.
Well, bomb plant's going to go down for SemperFi, I can tell you that for free.
Look at the money there for GZ. They can save. You can go for like a half buy around it if you want to play the long game. There's CT side Inferno. So you want to be trying to find a lot of these rounds, preferably earlier rather than later.
Just some Inferno gameplay right here.
Love to see it. On your Friday mornings, Friday evenings, wherever you are in the world. From where you'd rather be type beat.
Did you manage to play any CS yet on the new patch? I think I saw you playing some.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. Actually, I'm on a little win streak at the moment. Managed to win all of my solo queue games last night, which was phenomenal. Had teammates that weren't mentally stable, but managed to, you know, use the psychotherapy on them and keep it all together. It was great.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, feeling wise,
yeah, that's more so where I was going with that.
It was, yeah, I thought the spray was kind of wacky. But I haven't played since the server stabilization, but I was getting that as well, the weird slow server frames, and I thought it was just the servers being at fault. Didn't realize it was actually the game. So, not much to say post change to the apparent spray update, but I'm sure it feels good. Ooh.
That is very nice from Shady.
Yeah.
Vision making a critical mistake is going to go down early. And that more or less opens the A side up. This push up through short. There's no one there to defend it from ground zero. All of the defense, the remaining defense on the A side was concentrated around jungle and library. And so that looks like it's going to end up being a bit of a freebie for SemperFi. So it's a good recovery. They held obviously that one round, which looked like a real speed bump, quite awkwardly played. But aside from that, it's been pretty much smooth sailing, and SemperFi really kind of starting to make their mark known on this map. Round zero need to find a way to step up pretty quickly. Otherwise, we're going to be going on to SemperFi's map pick with a 1-0 lead for SemperFi, and I think you can probably put 2 and 2 together and then get 2 and 0 out of that equation, as has typically been the case. SemperFi, I don't think have actually lost a map to ground zero since 4 series ago, which was in July.
That's all right.
So it's quite a while.
You'll take that. You'll take that for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what you won't take is 14 and 2 head-to-head between SemperFi and ground zero. Doesn't exactly fill you with a lot of confidence that ground zero can get this one done, even despite a pretty close series in the last matchup.
True. True. There's still time. There's still time. And look, what do you do when Shady opens up rounds like he just did in that previous one?
For sure. But I mean, let's say even if Shady doesn't get that kill, right? They probably do still walk into the A side for free, and it probably is still a SemperFi round at that point, a 5v5 post-plant with 4 util for ground zero. This one, though, going to be a little bit of a different, or maybe not, situation, as Savage does eventually wrangle that second kill onto Damio, and the top Nana hold does not quite go to plan for ground zero.
Everything just slowing down. The SemperFi throw the utility, signaling that they're looking for this A control. Archon library, but little do they know the short push is coming through on a nice timing boiler peak. Won't see the C4, won't see the package, and won't see Shady either. Vision trying to figure out what the hell's going on. They think they got the read, they think it's B, but all the T's are just timing their way to a free A site. Smoke letting them know. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That is very unfortunate.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? Sometimes the game goes your way on a timing and sometimes it doesn't. They kind of had to do something there, ground zero, being down 3 on 4. They had to take a bit of a risk, look for a fight, hunt for some information. This time it doesn't work out for them. It'll be a 6th for SemperFi, but the one silver lining to it is that ground zero are going to be able to take 3 guns through, so economically it does keep them pretty healthy. But this is becoming less of a conversation about the money and the economics of this half and more about the fact that ground zero still are only sitting on 1 round. So they need to get something more done, and they need to do it pretty soon.
Well, into the next, at least with the move that they made, they were able to save those 3 weapons, buy up around it. And give it a red hot crack moving into the next round. Let's see if they can make slightly better reads. Awkward gap there. not really existing. We're going to see, a late brawl in towards Banana. This time, Damio able to at least trade, snagging one away, but realizing that Savage is still down there somewhere.
Yeah, first time in a while that Ground Zero have actually been able to hold on to that top Nana control, or really any semblance of Banana control. Doesn't seem like SemperFi are too eager to allow that to be the case for much longer, though, because you've still got Keen and Savage trying to work Banana together. They will slowly but surely take top Nana. If this just ends up being a contact play, it's not going to be a bad shout at all. It's not going to cost them anything to walk into Banana here. But if King keeps going, he will be punished by PZ. That is unfortunate for SemperFi. The PZ very nearly gives up the advantage. Smoke still going in onto that B-bomb site. SemperFi feel like they've got themselves a window. Savage is going to go straight into CT spawn and straight into Damio's crosshair. So that has not gone to plan. They will be allowed a bomb plan here. Again, will help out the economy later on in the piece, but not an unwinnable round here for SemperFi in the 2-on-4. They've got quite a bit of delaying util. Another incend available to Shady if he wants to throw it. Opting not to. Hazard just going to try and get aggressive here. Oh, almost lines up a couple. Done some good damage there on the Damio. He'll go down for free to Shady, but he can't recalibrate onto Omicella. Had he got that next kill, Vision was not in a position to find a trade. It could have been another round for SemperFi, but it will be a second for Ground Zero.
Is this the beginning of the turning of the tides, Jordan? They got a bit of cash thanks to the save from the prior. They got the round win. There's a bit of everything for another buy on the CTs and then maybe even some more for a few of the individuals. But they've still got one round, maybe another to fully break the SemperFi economy. And that's when you can think, okay, maybe they can do it. Maybe they can go for this 6-6 half. It's just a matter of how they play this one, because constantly having to play retake isn't what you want to be doing realistically. You know, there was flashes of aggression at least. You know, they were trying to fight for Banana control, not just sort of standing back and hoping that SemperFi would make mistakes. They were the ones going forward with the flashes, enabling not only the little bit of map control, the trade game to come through, but it showed that they're confident. You know, they're not just sitting back. They're not letting SemperFi do all the basic map control bits and bobs until they're able just to sort of walk out on either side. And that's how I like Counter-Strike 2 to be played. You know, a bit aggressive on the CT side.
Yeah, I think so. I think you do have to be doing something, right? There's going to be a deep Nana smoke immediately out for Ground Zero. SemperFi look like they want to contest Banana. They've thrown the progression smoke. Shady going to be up on top of logs, needing the smoke open for Ground Zero, but no connection, no vision just yet either. And Apoc is burning, gets forced to use his molly, or rather his smoke, to put out the molly, but Savage is on top of him. Nice entry work, 2 kills already. Now be aware that there's another player on the B-bomb site, just by virtue of all that util that got dumped, so they're going to slowly clear it out. Damio now has been spotted behind second oranges, but he's doing great work holding on to it. Eventually will fall to a Molotov. And leaves Omicella to try and salvage something alongside Vision, who's starting to make his way up Banana very quickly. He might actually be able to find a timing onto Hazard. Looks like that window is starting to close though, as Hazard turns back around and Vision loses half of his HP. He's going to give a nice nade back into direction of Hazard. 1-4-1 so far is not going to be enough, as Addict is able to double down. 7-2 is the score. SemperFi continue on with their march.
What kind of march are they going for? Like a band-esque one? Or is it not that musical? Okay. Cheeky little tactical. And GZ looking just to clean a few things up. They have warranted themselves a little bit of extra money in the bank after that round win. so they'll be able to purchase up into this one. Full utility. The angle, as you can see, Omi's down to that MP9. And SemperFi still kind of teetering on breaking point. Still a chance for GZ to make a better half out of this one. But SemperFi quite ready after the last, and this time all towards T-stairs, looking like they want to put more priority back towards Banana. We'll see if they've got the right read on the economy. Or if they think they're running into a couple of pistols. We'll find out in just a moment. And I know that M4 is in the mix. Faster approach, explosive addict straight through that B site. And the CT smoke almost enough to deny that pressure. Apoc going to be finding a second with the cracked smoke. And just like that, a full chance for GZ to still be in the round.
Yeah, I mean, there is a chance. I don't know if I'd call it a full chance. I think it's maybe more of a half chance at this point, just because it is a 3-on-3 retake on the B site still. Smoke has faded pretty early on in the piece, though, which is going to give them a lot of time on this retake. They don't have any util that's going to dig out the positions, but they do have a few smokes, so they can cut off Banana, flashes over the top, has a good for a 1-for-1. Addict's position now looks like it's known by Vision, but Savage will have to be the X factor, and the longer this takes, the better it's going to be for SemperFi, as that smoke is inevitably going to start to fade. Addict looking for an extra kill, going to get it. Doesn't quite get that second, but round is already done at this point. There's just no way that Vision's getting it done. SemperFi go up to 8. Savage will barely survive as the bomb does not go off, but bad news now for ground zero as their money has more or less depleted. They're going to again be kind of scrounging at the bottom of the barrel to get this buy through, which means lacking util, and that's not a good thing on Inferno at all.
Banana, the focus. Ooh, CT smoke and the jump across. They know he's close, but Keed almost able to get that second shot off as well. Could have been fatal for GZ, but a missed opportunity. As Damio will go for the early exit in the round. Banana controls here. Smoke's still in the way. And SemperFi not really thinking about being respectful. They are hunting, they are looking, and they are, again, just keeping that pressure on the B site. This time going to what is more tried and tested. You take that Banana control, send it up mid, at least try to take brackets and force the CTs back from these information positions towards arch, towards short. And Omi's in a great spot to pivot off of the contact. Vision almost able just to fight that one off himself. Omi activating on the contact, but unfortunately won't be living for long. Now it's all up to Vision to try and survive here.
Not going to be an easy task, solo holding the A site, but luckily for him at least, SemperFi are not going to accelerate too quickly, so Apoc is able to come floating across, and PZ also having a bit of a look down Banana. He goes too early, gets the timing wrong. Shady and Savage, the firing squad, all waiting for him. That's a nice kill from Vision though. And with 20 seconds left here, SemperFi, this could still go wrong if Vision is able to find a quick kill or two. Oh, they do clear him out. So no harm, no foul in the end, and SemperFi look like they're going to go to 9, which in turn might actually get them to 10 because the money's not going to be very good here for ground zero once again. I would imagine they've got max loss bonus, but even then, you know, playing with, what, 3.5k maybe for most of these players, it's not really going to be a whole lot to work with.
Still a chance for him to make it happen, but yeah. You've seen the other pistol rounds. It hasn't really come close in most of them. A lot of their openings into the rounds comes off the back of utility and teamwork. And I don't know if there's going to be too much of that coming in here. At least taking a couple of those T's out gives them some extra money to play with. But you got to make do with what you got. So you'll see the shuffle around, probably an MP9 in the mix somewhere just to get the extra utility, if that's the angle that they want. PZ definitely enough to go for an M4 and will do that instead of getting any util. We could see something a bit more brawly here from GZ and SemperFi. Bit of a 3-2 split, looking to take some apps control nice and early. And GZ thinking about fighting Banana straight away, but there wasn't too much utility coming in that direction, so it's a slower direction to the round now. Shifting PZ with the M4 back to a double arch setup. Looks like it could be the correct call. SemperFi, very slow and respectful this time.
Vision. Going to try and delay with a bit of util there. And it looks like he got a nicely timed flash in, but it's not going to keep SemperFi at bay for very long. Having some difficulty clearing pit out, and PZ also in on the side. So these A defenders doing a pretty good job of just delaying as much as they possibly can. Still the rotation won't quite come through in time. And that is going to be a bomb plant. SemperFi hunting for their 10th. It looks like they're going to get it. Double digits secured at the end of the half. 10-2, favoring SemperFi.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window. But now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't it Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. This life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Getting back in for the second half here between SemperFi and Ground Zero, and it's not really looking like there's going to be much of a second half here. We'll see what Ground Zero is going to be able to muster on the T side, but SemperFi have really given them a beating on Inferno so far. Wee, Keen. Not quite going to get out of there. Wall banged by a Glock. I don't know that you get to see that very often, but it's going to happen this time around. Hazard, very sharp shot actually from Savage in the end. Will drop PZ, but more importantly, drop the bomb, and SemperFi are over that one like a ton of bricks. There is not much that Ground Zero can do about it. 11-2. Pistols going the way of SemperFi, and that probably will be the map.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough position to be in, especially when you lose that pistol. Look, you just go for the force, go all in, give it a red hot crack with the Tech 9s and some utility. That's pretty much all you can ask for at this point. And if you win this one, then that's probably your best bet at getting into the game. Because not only do you ruin that CT economy somewhat, you can give yourself the confidence that it is achievable. But then if you lose this one, you know, the dream's gone, boys. Good luck. Pack it up. Think about Ancient.
Yeah. Kind of feels that way. A couple of flashes though over Banana. Hazard just going to try and get out of there as quick as he can, which turns out to be a good decision because there's a massive flood coming and now they can fight on the site together, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside. Again, those Tech 9s proving to be a little bit too powerful. No delaying util, not enough anyway. And it looks like Ground Zero with a Hail Mary might actually win themselves a round.
That's it. You get the pressure, get yourself some cheeky upgrades. That's 2 of the rifles the CT's brought in, getting carried across into the next, or about to be at least. Shady. We can hear money. You can hear something. But it's Addict to take it away. And both these rifles survive in the hands of the T's. So going forward, still a chance at a round thanks to the save from SemperFi. Bit of extra money around the place, so they're going to force back in. They do have the round space to do this. You know, it's not all super high risk, low reward. They just need 2 more rounds here to make sure they secure map 1 in the series. But this is that kind of confidence that GZ needed. Okay, boys, we did it. Now what? Let's do it again and again and again and see how far they can get this comeback cranked.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible, right? Like, didn't go too well on CT side, but T side's a whole different beast. Maybe they can manage to make some magic happen. Bit of a util dump from SemperFi into Banana will soften a few of the targets, which is going to be good news for Hazard with that 5-7. What's the approach going to be here for Ground Zero? It seems like at the moment it's just wait out the Banana smoke. They are going to smoke the left side of brackets. It's not really going to fool anybody here on SemperFi. They not likely to move these 2 players out of Banana. So if Ground Zero want to take Nana, they're going to have to do a bit of work. That's a nice shot from Apoc Dud. And it is going to send Savage packing. All he has is MP9 to try to defend the B-bomb site. So he'll be feeling a little bit under the weather right now.
I need to say that the nade sound changes are incredibly awkward. It reminded me just hearing that incent of what can be going down. But the T's almost able to steady the ship here. Apoc Dud trying to run for dear life and has a read on both those CTs. Flashes forward, decides to fight, and just like that. SemperFi almost hitting him with the left right good night. And he just 1 more round, and this is all done and dusted here on Inferno. That looked good for a second.
It did. But it looked even better by SemperFi. You know, nice call to make that rotate very early on. And Keen and Shady able to get there just in time to make the difference. Also has to be said, nice double kill from Addict. If he doesn't get 2 clean kills there with the M4A1S from the site, then that round doesn't ever really get going. But 12-3 now, and Ground Zero scrounging again for a couple of guns. They've got to go down to the majority pistols. So Hazard's feeling confident enough to have a forward hold, but we'll just get forced away. So top 9 are taken by Ground Zero, which again is a bit of a staging platform for the rest of this round.
Very early block smoke there in apps. Shady still with a full belt of utility. Can delay again if he wants to. Can just hold it if he's expecting a molly his direction in the pit. And they're probably his best options with just the smoke, but the molly as well. Can buy a few seconds. Damio, the point man, the hero AK, is going to look to activate towards this B site. Baits out the util. Crew keeps this third man towards B, and now it's just going to be the hump with all these pistols straight up short. Oh, but it's a bit of a funnel into a double pit setup. That's never going to go well for you, and that will be that. 13-3, SemperFi solidifying Inferno.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I thought Keen had cooked it right there. He basically dumped his entire clip. Really ping, as far as I am aware. And I think it might actually be a bit of a bait to say SemperFi don't play this map that much. I think part of that may just come down to the fact that it is Rooster's perma, and they play a lot of series against Rooster, so they don't maybe get the opportunity to play it that much, but maybe they'd like to more often. Who knows? They have got the B site, but they have pretty much lost control of everything else, so they're going to try and move their way into Cave and take that control, and whoa, Keen gets away with a lot, way too much. He should never get those 2 kills there. Apoc Dud and Vision are going to be very disappointed with how that's played out, especially considering it's Apoc Dud with the dualies. They should have been able to clean that one up, but this pistol round, whoa, very sharp shooting from across the board for SemperFi, and so PZ's just, I mean, he's not having a bar of it. Maybe see if he can get another kill or 2 here for the AWP fund later on, but that's just not going to happen. SemperFi hit Ground Zero like a freight train in the pistol round.
Yeah, that was a rough one for him to try to play from the cutout there at mid. Couple of T's just all flying at you, and you've got minimal time to hit those heads. But there you go. Similar start to map 1. SemperFi coming in with a big pistol round win. And let's see what they can do moving into round 2. Instant window smoke coming out. Looking like we will see a bit of a pincer into mid. CTs don't want a bar of it either. Double up oven donut with what's PZ got here in window. Okay, he's got a smoke, he's got a flash. We've actually got the force in from the CTs, which I wouldn't say is a regular occurrence on Ancient, but I don't hate it until it stops working.
Whoa, Keen. Down to 6 HP. But Apoc Dud eats a grenade or 2 to bring him back down quite low, and Vision has been cleaned up by Hazard, who's just watching that cave line now. Not sure if SemperFi are aware there's multiple players in Cave. Shady only going to be good for the one there through the flash. Savage cleans up Apoc Dud in the end, so Cave now entirely cleaned up. Omichella dealt with. Nice sharp adjustment from Savage. And that's going to be the A site. That will be the point of contact now for SemperFi. PZ going to try and go hero mode. He's going to set up behind the boxes and see if he can do a magic trick here, but unless it involves fire, it's not going to go very well. So 2-0 for SemperFi. They're doing it pretty easy at the moment.
We'll see if the ease continues. It should be. Moving into the third. Let's see what goes down here. USPs have managed to do a little bit of groundwork, but the trap play, unfortunately, does not pack the punch they were hoping for. I know one more should be red with that flash that came through, and it's Keen to go hunting for it. Free $600 in the bank. And that'll be 3-0. Solid start again as GZ move into their first gun round. This is where the fun happens, Jordan.
Who's having the fun?
I don't know. Us.
SemperFi will be hoping that it's going to be them. They can keep that momentum going through from Inferno and maybe just run over this series without too much difficulty at all. Keen's going to be very quick up in toward Cave. Looks like he's going to pop flash his way in. There is some counter util out there from Ground Zero that is doing a bit of chip damage back onto Hazard and Keen. And is he... Oh. Is Keen going to keep going for this? Surely not. Mac 10 versus Orb. Oh, no, don't be silly. Do not be silly. He's really trying to bait out that shot. But thinks better of it in the end.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get there. You'll see the shift from GZ back towards this A site. Oh, Omi, that is not the place you want to be. Fully blinded by that flash and the utility. Almost winning this one for SemperFi, although Damio still standing strong. Locking down the back of site and holding onto the temple. Allowing the posture back from GZ. Shady, yeah, just...
He's tripping.
Showing the love.
Nice couple of entries, though, it has to be said, from Shady, but well executed by SemperFi in that one. You know, you saw that first flash come through for Keen. Allows Shady into Donut. The second flash allows him to get the kill onto Omichella. Good teamwork from SemperFi in this round. And it's fallen apart for Ground Zero, but they do take 3 guns through, so... Early days, of course. But the wheels are in motion in the direction of a victory today for SemperFi. This is going to be a 4-0 lead. They're on the hunt for these remaining guns as well. A couple of these guys having a bit of a look in Cave. That smoke should keep Ground Zero safe.
Terrorists win.
Guns back again, full utility. Couple of kits and almost everything you could ask for. But they need to get these rounds on the board. That's what the goal is. That's what the long term... Okay, what's going on here? Apoptard getting real frisky with it, looking to try and fight Heaven, but getting caught on the wood. Just will make his way back into the tunnels in time. The cave control will be shared by him and Damio, but meanwhile, one of the B-site members has taken out that Vision. PZ trying to bring this one back, but after showing himself, gets double swung. And this is not looking too good for the CTs. Damio trying his hardest to even just get that one. And now it's Omi against the world.
Yeah, SemperFi just far too well coordinated here on Ancient. You can see it is a massive problem for Ground Zero. Every single time they try to take a fight, there's like 2 or 3 players swinging them. And, ooh, nice shot from Omichella. Good adjustment, but does not matter. It's 5-0. SemperFi are looking locked in. They want that rematch against Rooster. I think they're going to get it. The way things are going at the moment, there just doesn't seem to be too much life for Ground Zero here on Ancient.
That seems to be the case for sure. Similarly, they're just not getting close. And that makes it certainly undesirable. Definitely a confidence shaker. They're going to give it a red hot crack again. Hazard finally punished for that aggression by the lane utility. We'll see if he gets found completely. SemperFi with heavy presence towards mid, towards Heaven. And Damio should be the next member to take that contact here once the window smoke fades. I believe that was just refreshed, so happening now. 1-for-1 trade over towards Donut side, held on to by GZ, but overextending straight to the Keen. Damio looking to come from above and will get the nice angle across the top. Haircuts onto Keen and another onto Hazard. So the mid control depleted. SemperFi only relying on Addict to try to get a clutch on the board. 45 seconds, bomb at elbow. He's a while away from getting that. Realizes it. And will start to make his way forward. I think, was he spotted? He might have just been spotted by Vision on the cross. Yeah, certainly has been. Bomb seen by APOC Dud. CTs, yeah, hungry for blood. GZ with, look, 10 seconds left to just deny a plant. That should be done for sure. There's no making it to the B site in time for Addict, even if he gets the package. And they might try to get him after time. No, Vision gives it to him a little early. And that'll be that. First round on the board finally for GZ.
Well, better late than never.
True.
And have to say it wasn't too late. You know, there's still a world where this half can be salvaged. 3 guns through from that round. It'll help out their money as well. So ground zero hopefully can start to build off of the back of that, but it's quite a mountain to climb with SemperFi having given themselves a fairly nice little handicap here. And the defensive mid will begin. Shady going to be forced away. No, he's going to take the fight. That proves to be a mistake. There's a recontest in from Addict, a late mid take from him. Going to result in the 1-for-1 trade. Savage has gone down in the meanwhile over at the exit of Cave. So now it's really all down to Hazard finding a nice little timing here. Those shots just missing. So close to finding maybe even a couple of kills there, Hazard, but unable to do so. And with that, the round is going to be getting quite difficult now for SemperFi.
Whoa. Okay. Hazard cooking.
Yeah.
And
there's the 2.
Really fighting their way back into this round. CTs just couldn't buy time for the rotation and the 2v4. Looking to be checked off the task list. Molly in a good position to buy some extra space, but Keen almost losing his life. Now they're just looking for the second man, but Omi has revealed his hand, knowing exactly where this CT's coming from. He'll go solo, and now it's all down to PZ in the 1v2. 1 and 6, not having a good game. Realizes it and knows that the AWP could be valuable in the future. So invests in that instead of this round for SemperFi. Get a 6th across the line.
Yeah, it just goes and gets a little bit tougher for ground zero again, doesn't it?
Terrorists win.
They'll afford a buy here. This map very much going in the same direction as the first. You know, it's similar energy where ground zero kind of like finally get their first round. You think, okay, this could be the start of something, hopefully. And then immediately it's another responding round from SemperFi and all those hopes are dashed. It's kind of like ground zero just trying to keep their head above water here, trying to cling on. And they're unable to do so. So going to be another mid contest here from SemperFi. Shady going to have a little bit of a look on his own. Just wanted to get the molly for shelf, so there's no jump up presence from ground zero. And now with those flashes coming across the top, he's opting to challenge middle late. Michela eventually will bring him down. But Addict has taken the initiative to try and walk his way out onto A. PZ watching for that one. Will grab himself a kill. There's another one from an AWP, but on the other side of the field, it's Keen to grab APOC Dud. So very early in the round, a bit of action, and find ourselves back to 3-on-3 where things might now start to just slow down a little.
Ooh. Peeking over the top. Omi almost giving up that B control. Vision a little late to swing. And she goes his way. And he's playing a very dangerous game. But he had the info on both those T's. And instead of fully locking this one in or playing together, PZ now just sitting elbow, trying to cut off any rotations. And SemperFi playing this together, playing it slow. And I like the way that they're playing it that little bit better. Vision might be able to find the first man. It could be harder for the second. And there's that trade. Keen now back to the 1v1 with no read on PZ.
Yeah, but he gets a nice early plant. And he's got a smoke. And he's got an incense. So he's got quite a few options. In the end, he's just going to opt to smoke on the site, give himself a little bit of room to play with, but he needs to clear out cave and missed shots from PZ. That'll make the job much more difficult. Incense going to go down just to delay a little bit longer. That smoke should be fading shortly. Keen sitting inside of it, hoping that it's going to go his way, and it will not.
Not the best.
PZ will secure a second round for ground zero.
Not the best play Keen's ever made. I'll give you that much.
No, it's a rough one.
Just didn't back himself to fight. Went for the sneaky approach, but then looked a little silly in the end.
Yeah, I think the thing is he had no real idea exactly where PZ was, where he was coming from, what the timings were looking like, because there was definitely an option for him to get that plant and then get off the site, you know, and play the post plant much differently. But obviously he didn't have any idea where that peak was going to come from. So he just tried to use that smoke to kind of like give himself a few options to play around and got sort of stuck on the site, which meant he couldn't really play time. Faster approach this time from SemperFi as they just go charging their way in toward B. And PZ will be able to get the kill onto Hazard, but that does not stop Vision from going down. It doesn't stop SemperFi from taking the site, although they really are getting a little bit bruised on their way into the site, and they have yet to get themselves a bomb plan. It's onto Shady solo, and he's unable to get it done this time. So the half, you know, it's while not fantastic yet for ground zero, it's at least coming together.
Getting more and more salvageable, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I think, personally, I still like T-side. I still think it generally is stronger on Ancient, especially, you know, not at the tippity top level of Counter-Strike, where it is, you know, generally more prominent that the CT side is more structured. Everyone works a little better. So we'll see if GZ can keep this success going into the second half. I don't think 3's enough on the CT side. They still will be looking for more. And you've also got the timing, the cheek here from Keen, who won't be gifted that free one. He is hungry for an opening. He's going to be doing it all himself. Vision, at least close on the back of sight, and a nasty, nasty one tap from Hazard. Completely denies Damio his life at long. Oh, Lord. That was crazy.
Have a look at this one from Shady as well. Just catches up with PZ as he tries to transition back into the A site, and SemperFi very much out-positioning ground zero in this round. That's a brilliant one from Shady, dealing with both Omichella and Vision. And that is 7-3. So SemperFi is still keeping themselves on top here, even despite the fact that ground zero are showing some degree of fight on Ancient. Still very much looking like it will be a map for SemperFi at this stage. Money's getting a little bit problematic for ground zero as well. You can see they're having to go down to some upgraded pistols and an MP9, MP7 coming out here for PZ. A bit rough around the edges for ground zero right now.
Well, we've seen an aggressive play. And Jiggling. And doubling up Hazard. Denying the trade game. GZ hating that one. Oh! And Hazard has single-handedly just won this round. Lovely entry work. Man is 13-4. He's an ancient demon. And, oh, I can taste more around the corner. Ace on the cards. Addict. Does he give it to him? He'll fight for himself. Ace denied, but what a round out of Hazard. That was stellar.
Even worse buy this time around for Ground Zero. So... what will ultimately be a rough half again for Ground Zero. Might at least end with a win, but it's going to have to be very hard fought. Shady making a lot of noise jumping around in middle here, and wouldn't be too surprised to see Damio try to capitalize on that. He's thinking about going through that smoke, opting not to. And so Shady will be allowed to walk his way into Donut. Omichella will be the one on the receiving end of Shady's push. That might start to speed things up here for SemperFi as they'll look to work their way in the direction of A. There's a rotation coming through nice and quick from Ground Zero, and a couple of quick kills as well to make this one a little more interesting. Smoke in for Donut. Shady's impact will be limited, but it doesn't stop Savage and Hazard from committing to it, and that's not worked out at all. Nice final round for Ground Zero. 4-8 favoring SemperFi.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
All right, first half ended with a couple of shenanigans there. Ground Zero actually managing to scrounge their way to a 4th round. Let's at least give them something to play with here on the T side of Ancient. Pistol round going to be an important one for them, and SemperFi have got that 4-player stack over on B. So this offensive from Ground Zero could come to a close pretty quickly.
See if they can make their way up ramp first, but the CT's farming so far. Apoc Dud putting his big boy pants on there with the Glock, able to double it back and keep it to a 3v3. No cave control, and the CT's
Bomb.
go for the early rotation. Ah, yeah, okay, bomb. Down at heaven. And that's what the call is. Addict getting that pick with eyes on the prize will make this ever so difficult for GZ to try to get back into this one.
Yeah, nice kill from Addict. They're onto Shelf. It's going to be smoked off. Savage is just going to sit here and see if he can catch the player that tries to collect the boy, swinging away. Look at him go.
He's hungry.
Yes. He's got the bomb. And a little bit of a tickle on the way out. Addict, headshot onto Omichella. So PZ will be able to get the plant, but that's about all he's going to be able to do.
Unless.
Ooh, okay.
Got a flash.
You've called it. Oh, this could be a good flash as well. Nice pop flash. Catches Savage, but not Shady. And that will be the round the way of SemperFi. Good effort from PZ, you're right, but not enough this time around.
I believed in the flash. I saw it. I've seen him do some criminal things in the past, and he almost got away with it again there. But it was not to be. And GZ, things get harder again. The 8-4 half, losing both pistols now. Just not a place you ever really want to be in. But bomb plant, Jordan. So they're going to be forcing in again, realizing they need to hunt for these rounds. And this could be one of their better opportunities to make it happen.
A little bit of tappy-tappy, but not a whole lot of damage coming out on either side. There's a creep happening over toward A, but 2 players set up for this defensive you'd think should be enough. Keen looking for the third there. Does end up giving his life back, and it's a 2-for-2 trade, which could definitely be worse for Ground Zero. PZ still holding on to the bomb. So no repeat of the previous round's issues.
It's just the waiting
It's like
game.
SemperFi got the wrong read.
Yeah, that's true. Clearing out lane. I think they just got some extra info on that. Could be a fast flank on a main. Yeah, Addict now sniffing out the right direction. Will be a fast flank, considering GZ are going very slow here. And we'll start to make some noise towards Donut. No CT's really close enough to hear it, but with that tap, that's going to call in the rotation. Easy will put the crosshair in the right direction. Clearing the flank. Heads up gameplay. And now the CT's probably thinking about going for the save. I guess Savage will look and see if he can maybe just find one here. But dropping off the ledge revealed his position. GZ.
It's 10
Great
seconds.
team play.
I'll go for it. He's got
He
no
can,
kit.
he can think about it. He can do more damage. The more exits, the better for the economy. But he's not going to be allowed to. So, look, it was an ambitious attempt.
If he would have had a kit there, I think he might have been able to go for the defuse, the smoke defuse, because he got so much space in onto that site.
Yeah.
But no kit, not really going to be too viable to go for a full 10-second defuse when there's 3 players alive. So 5th round on the board for Ground Zero. We are definitely getting a more competitive map of Ancient. But another investment from SemperFi. So now it's Ground Zero's turn to try and see if they can stave off what will be a half bite. Double smoke to Red Room already for Ground Zero's. Probably not indicating that the comms are on point.
Maybe
Big setup on A.
it could just be a bit of chaos in the mess of things too. We'll see what ends up happening here. Lane control is there for GZ, so is Cave now. And SemperFi, as you mentioned, stack on A. Looking like it may not even get a chance to be activated. Or put too much of a difference in the round. As we can see, Addict even shifting back towards the B site. Just a matter of, what GZ's tendencies may be. Oh, Vision. A little slow, just didn't react on the first peak, but ready for the repeat.
Whoa, nice shot from Vision. Shady flashed into Cave and instantly deleted. That is going to bring Hazard across. You've still got a couple of players on this B-bomb site. So things could go wrong, particularly with a nice kill in there from Savage. The swing in from Matic doesn't quite manage to find its mark. Hazard, though, for a double. That's crazy work. Now he's got an AK. Is this possible? Maybe. He's just ducked in behind the side. He gets another one. So sharp from Hazard. And Apoc Dud is quaking in his boots. Surely he can't let Hazard get this one done. It won't quite go that way, but Keen on the flank. Fake plant from Apoc Dud. He is wasting precious seconds as Keen gets closer and closer and closer and walks up behind him on ramp. And that will be the round. That is a nasty way to lose it. Ground Zero have to look at Hazard's individual heroics there and think we can't allow that to happen again. Otherwise, this map will be done very quickly. But that's double digits for SemperFi.
It's really feeling like the Hazard and Shady show for the most part. Although Keen, putting on a solid performance. You did, mention earlier that he hasn't had the best games since the roster swap. Maybe just feeling the extra pressure, less experience around him overall. But this game, remembering exactly how to do it. Maybe it's just an ancient thing. You never know. 3 more needed. GZ with the plant will have enough money to force something out. Mac 10, couple of Galils, and a Tech 9 surrounding Hizzy's AK. So he's looking to be the difference maker. Let's see what the AK can do to try and maybe find an opening here. It's going to be mostly all in towards this A site. Just smokes at mid to deny information. And it's full retake territory. Ooh, CT smoke. I don't know if that's intentional. Leads out towards the back of site. So Hazard won't be allowed to get too frisky with it.
All right, well, solid enough stuff so far from SemperFi, and it gets even better as Keen continues to disrupt this attempt onto the A side. He gets another one. PZ up close and personal will be able to find the trade, but overall the damage has been done. The delay has come through, and so has the rotation. That's now 11. And SemperFi working their way towards victory.
One step at a time. One in front of the other. And they'll get there eventually. GZ realizes that it's probably their final goodbye. So they'll be getting the Tech 9s online. And a lot of flashes. So expect some kind of hectic pop on towards this B site after all of the utility fades, but they're not going to be allowed to pop. They're not going to be allowed to throw a single bloody flash realistically. Oh, they get past a couple. It could be on like Donkey Kong. Savage sliding out the smoke towards the back of site, one already shifting into cave. That's Addict. And Savage will get the info after being smoked off, but shots coming his direction. He just tried to dodge them through the wall. Hazard capitalizes, and PZ slow peek onto that line that Addict's holding is never going to go well. 12-5, and SemperFi are just edging their way closer and closer to the end.
Yeah, looks like it's pretty much going to be a done thing here. I mean, look at the buy for Ground Zero. This is not the position that you want to find yourself in at all. Like a Lil and 4 upgraded pistols to try to save the game. I don't think it's going to happen. But they did manage to get themselves around with a buy like this right at the back end of the last half. It was a bit of a goofy round, to be fair. SemperFi contesting middle. Flashes layered in there by Hazza, but he'll lose his life. And Addict now has to try to stand tall, which he's going to be able to do quite nicely. A nice double kill on Michela and Damio, not quite spaced perfectly. And so Addict will get away with his life. He's tucked in the corner here. PZ going to now challenge, and he'll lose his head as well. Addict, a one-man army. And Savage, hunting for this elusive last player in middle. Not going to work out for him.
Both playing together at least, and getting past Addict is the first hurdle. Bomb retrieve for Bull, 1-for-1 goes Vision's way. And with the package on the back, they don't quite have the best read on Shady. He was making a lot of noise towards lane, but it's the round the world Vision. Okay, playing head games with Shady here. Has this been heard? It may just have been. Shady now realizing it is this B-site play. Smoke at CT. Vision not going to be watching it. Planted mostly for him. Not fully. But he really isn't too far away. And Shady with a smoke and a kit might just be able to sneak this one away if Vision just plays full tucked.
Yeah, maybe. It's not going to be the case. Shady's able to cross though onto the bomb. There's a grenade. Round's over. Vision's won it. Oh.
Yeah.
No time. That grenade makes all the difference. And so Ground Zero will live to fight again another day. It's not over yet.
It feels like the utility in this game in points like that now is just so much more like a paper, scissors, rock affair.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, I've got a smoke and a kit, but he's got a HE. He doesn't have a HE.
I see.
You know what I mean?
What you're saying.
Like it's
X beats Y, Y beats Z.
Yeah, yeah. Like in theory at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just another element to the game, right? I don't hate it at all. You know, you should be rewarded if you've got the right piece of util in the right occasion. Maybe util's not going to matter. Okay, well, that was short-lived. Round zero, they do all the hard work to get that one round, you know? Great work. And this is what we end up with, so it was fun while it lasted.
Well, that is the rock that beats the scissors and the paper. You know, it's just sometimes I'm going to shoot better than you. And that's the way it is. Screw your rock. Screw your Rochambeau. Let's see what PZ can do. 1v5. The angle is there. Now the jig is up. He's spotted, making his way to Temple. Fast flank out of Savage. Oh, spots his shoulder, chips into 25. And now it is more unwinnable than ever for poor old PZ. That'll be it. 13-6. SemperFi getting it done on map 2 and map 1, which means they get the W for the series and get a chance at having a shot at Rooster once more. Look, GZ, they did what they could until the bitter end, but with Hazza hitting crazy shots like